Okay, you guys, welcome to an all-new episode of So Bad It's Good. This is not what I was planning to do. If you listened to Monday's episode, I thought we were going to get the trailer by Wednesday, but of course they hit it with us right on Monday morning. It's usually Friday nights are like the big news story days, and then Monday mornings they hit you with something, so it already starts the week like you feel like you're on a roller coaster. But we got the mid-season trailer. There's so many questions about this thing, and I talked with Kiki Monique, Talk of Shame, earlier. We went live like right when I woke up, and now I've watched this thing a billion times, and I want to take you guys through shot by shot of this. Now, this is a podcast, but you can also go over to the YouTube, and you're going to be able to see picture after picture that I will be describing. So, you know, if you're listening to the podcast, the perfect way to listen to this is if you're potentially blind, because I will just take you through the whole thing. Now, Maritza Lopez, who makes all of the graphics and all that stuff, she made all of these stills, and she is going to be going through these one at a time, and I will be describing what you're seeing. But let me just set it up with, there's so many questions about this. I think I have a lot of the answers for you already. But one of the main questions that we don't know is how long this season is. I was told weeks ago, even before the Sandoval crap started, that this was going to be an 18-episode season. And then we knew they were now shooting, because of the Sandoval mess, one, if not two extra episodes. Plus, they're filming the reunion this Thursday. They are not moving the date for the hearing that Rachel has against Scheana. They are recording on Thursday. I don't have an answer for this, even though I keep trying to get this. The only thing I can think of is that Andy was like, listen, dude, I scheduled this thing, and I cannot move my schedule, because he's always doing something. Because I'm trying to think why. Maybe it's to not let the tension out, because there's so much heat on this story right now. Maybe they don't want to wait another couple of weeks to see things die down, but we really don't know. So my fear is, well, Andy said on his radio show today, you guys, that he has seen episodes 9 and 10 or 8. He said he has 2 more to watch on the plane, which would bring it up to potentially a 12-episode season. My thing is, though, I heard it was way more episodes, so my fear is Andy not going to watch all of the episodes before he does the reunion? It's like, slow down, Andy. I want you to be fully informed. Also, should I stand outside where they're filming in Los Angeles with a sandwich board that says, like, Team Ariana and Katie? That would be sad, but that's kind of my brand. So let's go through the mid-season trailer. This is only a minute and a half, you guys, but it packs such a punch. Now it starts, the music even is intense. It's like Bon Iver, if you know him. It's like, it's like really sad, intense music. And you see Brock and Scheana, obviously, after they say their I do's, and it's a beautiful way to start, because they both look really amazing. You see the water in the background, because they had a destination wedding, so we see that's where we start. And we already know at this wedding is potentially, well, we do know, is where Schwartz and Raquel supposedly make out. But not with further information that's all come out that's not in this trailer. We know that Raquel disappeared for 3 hours during this wedding, where she is not accounted for. If we could get this next slide to come up, that would be... Okay, now this is, we see, they say, wow, this looks amazing. We got the space. And they're referring to something about the sandwich shop that Ariana and Katie are opening together. Now, this is just a couple doors down from Sir, and they do get this space. This is a very real sandwich shop. They're already selling merchandise, which they were going to sell anyways. We see them, and they both look great. So this is kind of a... and I had heard they had filmed this scene where they had a couple sandwiches present, and everybody got to taste it for filming. And then we go to Schwartz going like, are they going to open before us, man? That's like where this originally was headed, was the who's going to open first, Schwartz and Sandy's or something about her, which also just shows you that these women potentially know way more what they're doing, and they can get things done a lot quicker than Schwartz and Sandoval, which I think already is an interesting plot line if we didn't even have any of this. So you see Schwartz really feeling it in this denim blue thing, and there's so many scenes at Schwartz and Sandy's where Schwartz is like, I don't know what we're doing, man. Like, it's really incredible. And then we go to Katie walking in with, and we saw this guy, if you were following like Daily Mail and Us Weekly, she had dated this guy. I think he potentially was a model, and I think he was maybe I don't want to miss, like, I think he's like 28 or 29, and he's like, Katie's date's like, I don't know what to expect walking in here. Now she's in this beautiful black short skirt dress. It looks to be on, I mean, this looks to be on Santa Monica Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't look to be Tom. I mean, it's somewhere, so either it's a date or a birthday party or something. And obviously, we see this dude later on in this trailer. So this is either in the same episode or this dude makes multiple appearances. And I don't believe Katie is with this guy anymore. And then, okay, so this shot, you guys, is we see Sandoval shirtless. It looks like he's wearing either black undies or something. His hair's like swept over his face. We see the mustache. We see the lightning bolt necklace, and he's kissing somebody who is like under the covers, like really tight. You see a pink face mask on, and you see a nose. Now, this is the most debated shot of the entire trailer because we believe this to be at Scheana's wedding, and it's a different backdrop than Tom and Katie's bedroom because they've done scenes in there. So we assume this is the hotel at Scheana's wedding. And everybody is like, look at the nose. Is it more of a flared nose? Is it like a skinnier nose? Now, I hate to break it to everybody, is that this is a classic case of misdirection on Bravo and the producer's parts, because we know what's to come. So they know we're going to be thinking, oh my God, is that Raquel? Is he kissing Raquel at Scheana's wedding when she had disappeared for 3 hours? I hate to break it to everybody, but this is Ariana right here. We have other scenes with Ariana in the pink sleeping face mask. And I hate to break that to you. I mean, by the way, it would be horrifying. My first thought, though, I will tell you, when I saw this before I started watching it obsessively, was that, oh my God, because we knew 2 weeks ago when they got cameras up again that Kristen Doute confirmed there is a kiss between Tom Sandoval and Raquel that they filmed. Now, who knows if that'll make the final cut. But this, we know, is at Scheana's wedding at the hotel she booked. So this is not that scene. And if it was, because look at this to me reads as this dude's been partying. And maybe, like, in my head, just my imagination is like, she's like, I'm just going to keep sleeping. He's like, I'm going to go out partying. Let's go. I just want to party. And she's like, no, babe, I'll stay here. And he's like, okay, well, as long as I can go party. And then he goes off. And in my head, flippin' probably hangs out with that Raquel girl. What's the next shot? Okay, and then we cut to Scheana looking very put together, very beautiful. Looks like she's making some sort of jewelry. I don't know, does Scheana or Rachel, I know Scheana has a brow line, but I don't know if she has a jewelry line, but she's making some sort of jewelry, and Sheena's like, I was the OG home-wrecking whore of this group, and then came Lala, and now here you are, to Raquel. Now, remember, as a history of Vanderpump Rules, the show started on the back of Scheana. Scheana, sorry, I'm getting text too from Maritza. She does have a false eyelash line. So Scheana, remember, had an affair with Eddie Cibrian, who was with Brandi Glanville from Beverly Hills, and that was the backdoor pilot of Vanderpump Rules. So Scheana was the OG. Then came Lala, because Lala, and this is what frustrates me even about Lala, is that, like, listen, even Scheana saying in the midseason trailer, it doesn't mean it's like right or you're like bound by this your entire life, but that's how people made fun of you on the show initially. Lala was being a homewrecker because this secretive dude turned out to be Randall. They said that he was married at the time. Like, this is not us saying this. This is actually your cast members in the show saying it. And now she's talking to Rachel, and she's saying, now you're doing it. Now, this is in regards to Schwartz. They're not laughing about Tom Sandoval and stuff. This was filmed pre any of this. And Raquel's like, ha, ha. She's like laughing. And this is where you like Rachel seems to be getting way like just like really comfortable. I think she's really at a point in the season where she's starting to be like, I stood up to Lala and I've stood up to Katie and people like me and Scheana likes me. So it feels like she's getting her confidence and potentially not getting cocky, but getting a little more comfortable in her role this season, because remember, if the Sandoval hadn't have happened, this would be a underdog story that was kind of going her way in a lot of ways, of a season of finding herself, of discovering herself. It doesn't matter how many dudes she's made out with, because those dudes make out with a lot of girls as well. So this would have been an underdog story if we didn't know the information now. Then it cuts to the Schwartz and Raquel kiss. Now, this is just one brief kiss at Scheana's wedding. And you can tell Raquel's like, after they do it, she's like, you can tell she's excited. This, I don't believe, is the kiss, the kiss. It's at the wedding, but I don't think it's the kiss, because we see another picture, I think, in the first trailer that was released, that was even in a different location. I believe same outfit from different. By the way, the intensity and the amount of information I know about this already, it's really sad. But this is just one of the kisses. So my curiosity is, and this is the other thing too, if already Sandoval and Raquel had something going, which that's what they're saying, it might have been on the lighter side at this point, because this really was something that she was still. I mean, you could say, Sandoval was like encouraging her. Who knows? But maybe it was like this. I don't know. I'm just really, truly guessing. Maybe it was one of those things they made out and was like, oh my God, let's never do that again. And oh my God, it would ruin everything. Oh my God. And, people can like more than one person at a time. She might have really been curious of making out with Schwartz and thought he was hot and thought of all of those things. But I do want to remind people she does know Joe, who is his roommate, who he also has a crush on and is potentially his girlfriend. It's a very tangled web. Then we cut to Katie. And Katie, once again, is telling Rachel, we're not divorced yet. This is my husband. I said this on many episodes now. Everybody seems to be locked into hating Katie still in this weird way. And it's like, guys, she's allowed to still have these feelings about her husband. Like, she had these feelings about her husband when her husband actually was cheating in their marriage, when they were fully together and people still hated Katie. And now we see that this dude he's still, I don't know. It's just a mess. But Katie looks really sad here in the shot. She looks great, but she looks sad. Once again, telling Raquel, why do you keep doing this? I don't know where that was. But then we go back to Oliver and Rachel making out. Now, I believe, Maritza, if you could text me real quick, I believe this is a new makeout, because the makeout that we saw at Disco Pussy in Vegas, I can't believe I said that, Disco Pussy, was like really, really weirdly lit with a disco ball behind them, and it was like shimmering like a Stanley Kubrick movie. So I believe this is at a different location, and someone says he's like married with kids. Then we go to this pool scene. And we saw a little bit of this in the initial trailer. It's Sandoval and Raquel. And Raquel, I want to point out, nobody's really pointed this out. You know how Raquel got so much shit in this past episode, where they were like, the three girls were in bed after they were wasted in Vegas, and she had that pile of mush she was eating, and she goes, well, it's lucky you don't have a man. And she made this weird hand gesture. She was like, eh. She's making the same weird hand gesture in the pool. She's making the same, you can see it in the image here. She's making the hand gesture, which goes like, how we all have those hand gestures we make? Raquel is addicted to this weird hand gesture. My question is, she's also wearing these white glasses at night. These could be hers, but they could also be Tom Sandoval's. Now, I don't think we have the shot here, but I believe somebody is right next to Tom on the other side in the pool, which could be Ariana, who knows? But Raquel, what you can tell from this is she's fucked up. This is a fucked up hand motion that she was fucked up in Vegas doing. So this is the pool. I'm assuming it's a pool at one of the night before Scheana's wedding, the night of Scheana's wedding, which is when all hell was breaking loose. Wait. We're on the next slide right now, but my thought is, remember, we all heard the rumors that even Scheana was encouraging Raquel to make out with Schwartz. What if that pool scene, which now we read completely differently, but what if that pool scene is Sandoval is like, you should make out with Schwartz, just do it. What if he's talking, like, that's just a complete guess. Okay, so next slide we go to is, we have Ali, James's current girlfriend, and James is like, he wants to fuck the shit out of Raquel. And DJ James Kennedy's really livid. And this is another misdirection by Bravo or the production, I believe, because we watch it with all the current information going, oh my God, is DJ James Kennedy talking about Sandoval? I don't believe so. I think he's talking about Schwartz, and I believe this is another one at Schwartz's wedding because they're both wearing white, I believe. And this is another thing where I would love to talk to Ali someday because my thought is like, does it bother her that her dude gets so passionately upset about anything to do with his ex? Like, you know, Ali seems to be living on this earth in some fashion, even compared to Raquel Rachel. We've seen her since 2018, and she's always kind of seemed a little out there in space. Ali seems to, you know, have normal thoughts. So she's kind of like, what are you doing, dude? And I think she even literally says, going, you guys are disgusting. Now, that could mean so many things, but in my head, going like, it's literally like, my reading of that is like, dude, you guys are all toxic people. Like, this show has made you guys all toxic. You're just disgusting. You just like literally pass each other around and all bang each other because you're on a show called Vanderpump Rules. I'm sure I'm reading into that too much. Then we go back to Katie, and this is amazing in terms of the lighting, you guys. So it's all like blue background. The production this year is just off the chain. And Katie goes, Katie once again goes, I want to light them both on a fucking fire. And I will say, okay, so Katie has said fire. She like wants to light people on fire. She said it in her social media post. She said it on the show before. She says it again. She's obsessed with this lighting people on fire. But what's so cool is right after that, the light goes from this like neon blue to this like really intense crimson red. And she turns into like green, like the Hulk, like Incredible Katie Hulk. And it's just really good. It's just like a very stunning visual. It's very independent horror film to me. It's really good. And then we go to Lala on a catamaran with Ali. So I'm assuming this is events at Scheana's wedding as well. And Lala's like, I want you to know kind of what you signed up for being with him, which is obviously DJ James Kennedy. And this is very interesting because Lala does seem to be invested in their relationship. We already saw that from like the first episode when they were at Hotel Ziggy for DJ James Kennedy's little DJ gig. And then we go to James. They're all wearing really funny sunglasses in these Scheana's wedding. I'm guessing Diff Eyewear sponsored this whole wedding. He's wearing these like pink glasses, but he's talking to Lala. I believe another scene from this wedding. James asks Lala, should I ask Ali to marry me? Which is just ridiculous in any form of like at this point. I mean, just DJ James Kennedy's commitment to wanting to be committed to somebody is wild because he's so far from being a person that should even want to be in a commitment with somebody. And then Lala immediately is like, talk to the hand. She's like, I'm so fucking done with this right now. And this is interesting too, because there's a lot of different things. A lot of people go, well, Lala and DJ James Kennedy belong together. And I think they have similar energies. I would be interested to hear astrology wise how they match up. I'm not really into astrology, but this kind of relationship does make me wonder astrology wise how they line up. But I think Lala, you could read it as potentially a little jealousy, but I don't read it at that. I read it as like, are you insane, dude? Like, what is up? You're drinking all of a sudden after you've been sober for a little bit of time, and now you want to throw yourself into a relationship because you're literally here at Scheana's wedding, on top of the last season finale was an engagement party with you and Raquel Rachel. So then we go to, okay, now this is really interesting. We are at Tom and Ariana's house, I believe. I believe this is their house because it looks like that's their back patio. The only thing that threw me off was I was trying to remember if they had cats. I knew they had Charlotte who had passed away and their other dog, but it looks like there's like this cat tower in the background. So that was the only thing throwing me off if this was their house or not. But Tom is in one of those hat wraps that was really popular like 6 years ago, and like a white V-neck t-shirt. And Ariana looks really pretty in this like is that like a zebra print? And they're having this like serious conversation, it looks like. And we start to Tom tells Ariana, having sex like 4 times a year It, like, kind of just inferring like he's not down with that. Now, let me stop this right here. So this is where we start to build a case for why Tom psychologically cheated on her. And you might be going like, oh, that would actually make a lot of sense. No, that doesn't give somebody the right to cheat for 7 months. Now, these kind of conversations should happen in a relationship, right? If Tom is wanting sex a lot, then yeah, this might not be the relationship for them, but this does not give anybody the right to do that to their partner. We also know from the show that Ariana, has I don't want to say hang-ups, but there's a reason why I think there's I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the discourse about this once this airs. I think we always tend to blame women really quickly, and so I hope people will be very understanding of this and take into account a lot of different factors, but it doesn't mean that Tom then gets to just bang Raquel as much as he wants because he's only getting sex 4 times a year. I got to tell you, the first 16, 17 years of my life, I had 0 sex. So 4 times a year, if I was I would have been like, wow, what a cornucopia of sex. Then we go to this next scene, and this is great. Ariana is in the pool with what looks like a studly dude, right? And Ariana tells Tom, we hear the voiceover from that previous scene going, I cannot have sex with somebody who feels like a stranger. Now, you could put a lot of meaning behind that and the fact that Sandoval's always out. He has his band, he has his multiple bars, he obviously has a side relationship with Raquel from what we're now learning. So that line might mean that. The line also might not, the line might mean I don't feel safe with you right now. I feel like we are. Remember, Ariana started off the first episode of this season in a banquet at Tom Tom with Lala and Katie saying, I can't wait for Schwartz and Sandy's to open so I can finally have my guy back. I just can't wait to go on a date with him. That was in the very first episode. So they are, and by the way, there are times in relationships, you're 9 years in, you do feel like strangers sometimes. And, you ride this wave of can you get past that? And if you say it, without, and Tom, I guess, couldn't do it. But anyways, so we see this in the pool, probably at Scheana's wedding, and it looks like they're just both laughing and having a great time. This guy, you guys, is Brett Kenyon. He is one of Scheana's BFFs, one of Jamie Lynn's BFFs. He's been on So Bad It's Good the first season. He's also one of the biggest Taylor Swift fans ever. He went to the first 2 shows in Arizona this weekend, and I was just texting with him. He's going to come on once he gets the green light because he wants to talk about this and he wants to talk about Taylor Swift again. But this presents him as straight, and he is a very proud gay dude. So he is cracking up that this, people were like, who's this dude with Ariana? And it's like, yeah, it's a really fun gay dude and they're having the time of their lives. But this is another misdirection where the producers of Bravo don't know if you know that. So it's one of those things of was she doing something with dudes on top of this? Okay, then we go to the Schwartz thing. We see from the beginning, it's the same outfit, same scene. And Schwartz goes, open relationships are fucking tough while he's stroking his chin. Now, this is my theory. This is my take on this. We've heard that, in the first trailer, Sandoval was asked by Scheana, I think, are you guys in an open relationship? Ariana shot that down on Twitter. We are definitely not in an open relationship. My thought here, if we got that dialogue about having sex 4 times a year, and that is in this trailer, in my imagination, what if Sandoval is at Schwartz and Sandy's like, what's up, dude? Can I talk to you about my relationship really quick? And he's like, I'm just not, I just want so much more sex. I'm thinking about presenting an open relationship to Ariana. And then Schwartz is like, oh man, open relationships are fucking tough, bro. That's my theory. Could that be something where Sandoval's trying to present the idea? I mean, this is like Tweedledum and Tweedledummer here. If that's the real scene, it'll be so unironically funny. But who knows? I mean, it's obvious that from those scenes, Sandoval all of a sudden isn't happy. But my question is, was he fine before the Raquel stuff happened? And then all of a sudden he's like, when dudes try to find something wrong in a relationship once they realize they don't want to be in the relationship anymore. So they start piling on reasons of this that never bothered me before now bothers me, And so this could be that scene where he's almost using production to set up what's eventually going to happen after, like, because I don't think he planned on this happening this season. He was going to do it after the reunion. So what if he's setting up a case at a certain point in the season so the audience will be like, yeah, he does deserve something different, if you know what I'm saying. So he could still look like a good guy. Then we go to Scheana in the hat. Now this is a scene that's filmed in the last 2 weeks. In fact, this is the scene, I believe, that was shot the Friday that we all found out. Sheena's in the bucket hat. I think Face by Reality, a great Instagram account, posted this, and I reposted it on my Instagram. It's the same hat she was wearing, shot by paparazzi photographers outside Ariana and Tom's house. And Sheena's like, this is a full-blown love affair. Now, look, Scheana, you can see 3 of her nails in this if you're watching on, and they do not look messed up at all, because you do have to also think, like, this is Friday. Allegedly, she had shoved or hit Raquel on Wednesday night after Watch What Happens Live. So we want to pay attention when this scene actually airs, if there's any bruising on her hands, I'm not even joking, if there's any kind of sign of one of those nails not being there anymore. But she's all in white. She's just like, yo, this is a full-blown love affair. So it's not even just cheating. We are now being told officially everything that we've heard is true. This has been going on for a while, and they're supposedly in love. Then we go to Tom. He's in this black shirt, and Sandoval goes, I wish we would have tried harder. This is definitely at their place. We see in the background, I see the little area and then the pool behind it. And this is obviously shot in this last 2 weeks as well. So I wish we both tried harder. So this is great. And this is what we had got kind of from the information behind the scenes of he was gaslighting her, kind of almost saying it's her fault as well. Like she should have tried harder as well. Once again, you just, you can't throw that on her if you've been cheating for 7 months. If you were not cheating for 7 months, you can say things like, I want you to try harder. I need to try harder too. So this is him already having 7 months of this. So he's already told himself in his head how he feels. And he's telling her now she's to blame for a part of this. Then we go to Ariana going, and by the way, I said this morning, it was like, Ariana looks like, I don't know if like, she just looks great or, this is such a stupid comment because it's like, who cares if but she looks really, like, for going through a really tragic time, looks way better than Sandoval. And Ariana goes, you don't deserve one fucking tear of mine. Because that is funny for a guy to do that to her for 7 months. And then he's like, hey, and he's like, oh, I feel so bad, man. And it's like, why should Ariana feel bad for Tom at all? She was made to look like a fucking fool. Then we go to this, Lala telling, so it's Katie's dude. Okay, so they're in different outfits than the date night that we saw earlier. So this is a whole different thing. I thought Sandoval's wearing that like tank top with the black and blue stripes and like this, what looks like a Fruit Loop necklace. And there's like a surfboard on the wall. So I was like, oh, is this at Scheana's wedding too? But I don't think Katie didn't go to Scheana's wedding, but she was there. I just don't think they had a scene. So I was like, is this at Schwartz? And I was trying to figure out where they are or what this is. But Lala is telling Sandoval she saw the both of you at the Abbey together. Now, I think some Instagram account I saw, like, they were like, oh my God, he's also cheating with somebody at the Abbey. No, this is Lala. And Lala said on Heather McDonald's Patreon in August that she had suspicions about Sandoval and Rachel. Now, this is like Sandoval, and even when I even started knowing that those guys, Sandoval loved the Abbey. And there's nothing to do with gay or. It's a great bar. It's a fun bar. He would always go to the Abbey. All those guys would go to the Abbey. And I know, I remember Raquel and DJ James Kennedy. I have pictures with them when they used to go to the Abbey. It's just like a hangout that's close to Tom, and Sir. But this is another thing where I think Raquel and Tom Sandoval were getting chummy at the Abbey, and Lala calls him out on it, which I then think this is what the open relationship bit, which we saw in the first trailer with Scheana. So there were rumors about this, but they heavily denied it, which then also tells me was true that I was hearing that they knew she had a schoolgirl crush, but it was completely unrequited on his end. Then we go to a shot of that scene with Scheana and Raquel kind of like twirling their hair, listening. Which I always wonder if Scheana's really listening or if she's just thinking like, oh, what's going on with me tomorrow? Like I always wonder. Then we see a shot after this of in the last 2 weeks. This is the same shirt that he's wearing when he just said, I wish we had both tried harder. He has is that a squirt in his hand? Like he's a soda. I think it's a squirt. And Sandoval's like, you don't know what's going on between us, which I take it to mean what's going on between him and Raquel. Because once again, you're right, Sandoval, because you've lied about it for 7 months. How do we know? Also, this is weird. So he does look like he has some sort of bruising on his right eye. And so here's the deal. This happened Wednesday night. This potentially was shot Friday or Saturday of after they found out. Was he hit by somebody? We've heard about the Raquel Scheana alleged altercation, but was he hit by somebody? My thought too was he puts makeup on that eye anyways when he performs, but was he hit by somebody, and who was he hit by? Did Ariana hit him? I'm just curious. There just looks like obvious bruising. Somebody, oh my God. Now that I just thought that, it might have been Jeremy. No, this, by the way, guys, this is completely alleged. This is all just off the top of my head, but Jeremy confirmed it on an Instagram post on DJ James Kennedy that Friday, and he was livid, saying everybody's toxic. We know Jeremy stayed with Ariana that weekend. Who knows? But it does look like something physical happened to Tom, but Tom is so doofy, he might have just tripped as well. Then in the next shot, we have Rachel going, I don't fucking regret our relationship. This I do not believe to be a scene with Tom at all. There's a tree in the background, which leads me to believe this is either at Tom in the back or at Pump in the back. I could be completely wrong. This might also be at Scheana's wedding. Raquel looks really done up. What I believe to be this is what was going to be the final episode of the season before any of this happened. And we'll see this in a couple minutes too, or not a couple minutes, in like a couple seconds when Lisa's like, I want everybody to have a good, this is, I believe, would have been the season finale where she, I believe, is talking to Schwartz saying, I don't fucking regret our relationship because she gets so much shit after kissing him at Scheana's wedding. That's what I believe. I could be completely wrong, but I will go on record that this is not about Sandoval. Then in the next one, we see Ariana. This is obviously that Friday. We also, and we know this for a lot of reasons, it's the same outfit she was wearing in those scenes earlier. And then you see to can we go back to the Ariana one? We see on the right, that's Logan. Logan is a waiter at Tom, but is also one of Ariana's best friends. He's also from St. Louis, where Tom Sandoval is from, and they've been friends since I knew Logan, like 7 years now, and he's been a best friend since then, and he's been there for her through this whole thing. So he's right there on the right. Somebody with tattoos on their arm, I believe is a woman, is on their left, but we'll find out later. So we do know this is in that really scene where Tom comes in and is talking to her. Then the next slide, we have Scheana once again crying in the bucket hat going, I had so much rage in me. So obviously she is talking about that night with Raquel. Now this is going to be interesting because if she really does have that hearing, they could, and I don't think they will, they could subpoena this footage, especially putting this out. But I have a feeling if Andy's saying on his radio show that everything's going to be great, it's going to be the most amazing, that something has worked out. And like I've said many times, I heard that this was going to be dropped. I heard that Raquel, whatever we're calling her, was going to drop this, but it is wild for her to talk about this on camera. But remember, this is before the hearing, the charges were brought to Scheana. So at this point, she didn't know Raquel was going to do this. Then in the next slide, we have Tom in that same hat with this is in the scene from earlier when he's like, 4 times a year for theft, I need more. And she's like, you just feel like a stranger to me. He has his white nails. He has a bunch of jewelry. He has the lightning necklace that everybody's so fixated on. And he looks like he's about to tear up here. He looks like he's on, so is this possible? I don't believe this was shot in the last 2 weeks. I believe this was part of the initial run of episodes. Is this him trying to do the crying? I need more? Who knows? Next slide we have is Ariana covering her boobies. I mean, I don't mean to be a disgusting dude, but they look nice boobies, and she is well lit, and she's going into the pool, and obviously this is when she has those laughs with Brett Kenyon. And obviously, I think this is going to be the same pool that we see Sandoval and Raquel in. I've seen some discourse because of the Demois rumor about did they have a threesome? Did they? I don't know, man. They're all adults. They can do whatever the F they want. Who knows? We will see. I mean, listen, we're going wild with our imagination. I don't think so, but I can't tell you for sure no. But also, even if they did have a threesome, that doesn't then mean Tom gets to go have a full-blown relationship. I do want to point out part of the show that she hooked up with Lala with Tom driving around, and that didn't mean that she then went and had a full-blown relationship with Lala after that. In fact, they were really contentious after that. Next slide we have is Brett Kenyon once again pointing at like Schwartz, like in his face. There's a girl's arm over him. This could be Raquel. I think it's Raquel. We also see Peter having the season of a lifetime, and we see another bartender in the back. I think this is at Tom Tom, and I don't think this is Schwartz and Sandy's, but I do think this is part of what was initially going to be the season finale. And I think what I had heard already and what I said on my show is that I heard like Katie's family gets involved, and this is like a big fight after Scheana's wedding when they're back going like, how could you? You're like completely soulless, da da da. So I believe this is part of what was initially going to be the season finale. Then we go to and it starts getting really, more intense because we're almost done. Was that the last slide? One sec, you guys. Maybe Maritza had to. One sec. No. Oh, whoa. Okay, so then this is, I believe, in that last episode too. So we have Katie like yelling, or her mouth is open and looks like screaming, and you see this dude in the background, and he looks like he's watching something intense go down. That's either Charlie. Is that Charlie or Kristina Kelly in the background? I do believe this is a part of whatever that last scene was with what in the last side we just saw with Brett going up against Schwartz potentially. And then we go to, this was definitely shot in these last 2 weeks. Tom is wearing the same black shirt that we saw. Also, Tom is, he's hitting the lightning motif a little too heavy. We also now see that he has a lightning bolt necklace. It's like, how far are we going to go? Like, does he have a lightning Prince Harry? Or is his balls decorated with lightning? Like, what the, does he have a happy trail shaved with a lightning? And this is obviously either, I believe he's over at Schwartz's apartment and he's grabbing onto Schwartz like, what did I do? That's what I'm assuming. It's just like a quick shot. And Schwartz is like patting him on the back. Sadly, his hair is covering his eyes. My thing of just, I'm so mad at Sandoval right now that this looks to me completely fake. But also, why are, guys, you've been through 10 seasons of this where all of you guys have done this. Like, if anything, Schwartz's face reads of like, oh man, we're back here again? But who knows? It just, obviously this was shot on the same day. It is wild, though. It looks like Sandoval had quite a busy filming day last Friday because he did all of that. Saturday, we know he went to Raquel's house and filmed. He also did that show in Orange County that night. So he finally, we'll see how the show covers it, but it looks like he did the majority of the filming. So it's going to be really wild to see how they cover it. And also he might be really scared, which then would go to the rumor of him refusing potentially to film anymore because he might have realized he looks horrible at that point. Okay, and then the next slide is Raquel hugging Ariana or Lala. It could, is that Ariana or Lala? I don't know. I'm guessing Ariana just because that would be so gross. Just in the setting of all of this. And it just looks like they're hugging. I think that wallpaper looks like Schwartz and Sandy's wallpaper, if I'm correct. Or their house, but they both places have really cool wallpaper. Then we go to this is Ariana. She's screaming. What I believe she's screaming is Raquel, I think, but it is so. It's just as a still frame. It is. It's really so powerful. There's no joke there. I did a meme earlier comparing it to the Midsummer scream of Florence Pugh in that movie when she's like all around the ladies and just like crying, screaming. But this is fucking, that's real to me. That's real pain. And they get a quick shot of it. Then We go to Schwartz from an earlier scene when he was wearing that Fruit Loop necklace with the surfboard and Lala and all that, and he looks like, oh, he's like, and also he's all shredded, like you know what? I was thinking about this. If you had the pleasure, and you should watch Real Housewives of Miami on Peacock, Lisa Hochstein has multiple scenes this season where she was like, oh my God, Lenny is getting so in shape. He's eaten better than he's ever eaten in life. He's finally working out. I've been trying to get him to do this the whole 15-year marriage. Sandoval's always been in good shape, but I was watching earlier seasons and nothing like the shape he is in now. Like, he's all fucking like veined up and stuff. And it's just very curious that this also happens around the time of a 7-month relationship. He looks very angry in this still frame. Then the next one, we have Lisa. Lisa, this is, I believe, is what would have been the final episode, goes, we will learn how to deal. Hopefully we'll all learn how to deal with your problems. And she's like all tearing up. But I'm sorry, I just don't buy Lisa and all this shit. She's like, oh, thank God you kids are still a mess. But she's presenting being sad. And I think this is the thing, which I think we see in the next shot of everybody looking sad around her. Yeah, we see Katie in the front of the shot. She looks very teary, and it's the same outfit she was wearing in what I believe to be the final episode. We see Kristina Kelly looking sad. We see Brett Kenyon next to Peter. Peter has both hands in his pocket. We see Schwartz potentially wiping away a tear. And then we see Raquel Rachel with a goofy looking smile on her face. The more I study her, the more I just don't think she reads social cues. Like, I don't even think this is like potentially evil, though she's doing evil things. I just don't think she understands human emotions. I mean, that could just be a wild guess. A lot of people have given me their theories on it. And I talked yesterday about, Raquel comes from an adopted family. And I think I'm having a therapist on soon to talk a little bit more about this. But I'm not making fun of her, but there does seem to be something off in just how she reads other people's emotions. I hope that's okay to say. Then the final, or we're getting to the final. Yeah, Sandoval is in their house. He's up getting something out of the cover, and he says to Ariana, this is the black shirt day, and he's like, you want anything? Which also, before we get to this next line, if you're in the process of like, you want anything, like, I was trying to think about the psychology of a dude getting full on busted on an affair, and is like, you know what? I'm going to try to still be nice and see if she'd like a soda, some chips, maybe some ramen. Like, the thought of like, hey dude, we ain't going back to normal for a very long time. And then we cut to Ariana ending this whole trailer with, I just think that it's just a very powerful line, looking to him and going, for you to die. And it's like, holy shit. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is the very end of this trailer. Wow, we did 45 minutes. Oh my God, you guys, 45 minutes. It's a really good, it's only a minute and a half trailer. Usually they're much longer. My question is, how many episodes is this entire season going to be? Information keeps coming out, but you guys, thank you so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, and remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, go follow the YouTube. Once I hit 5,000 subscribers on a YouTube, I know this sounds silly, I'm going to eat a raw onion. And that, you're like, oh, who cares? I love raw onions. Raw onions have always put the fear of God into me for some reason. The taste is off. It's disgusting. I like grilled onions, but it's something I really don't want to do. So if you want to watch me in pain, go follow the YouTube channel and all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't know if anybody's going to want to watch me do it, but I'm going to eat it once the 5,000 thing hits. But that's it, you guys. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you very, very soon. It's only Monday. Oh my God. Bye.